No bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Go, 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 go.
no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Go, 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 go.
no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no bound, no bound, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundary, no boundaries,
Well, greetings and salutations, good folks. Hope everybody's doing well. No Boundaries crew, we up in the building, man. We got two of us tonight.
Come on, man. Talk to me.
So we got a good show for you guys. Let's get the formalities out the way. If you guys are not following No Boundaries, please do so ASAP on Twitch,
Please.
YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. No Boundaries underscore JMO. Just my opinion. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
make sure you guys follow us so we can get down. And you guys can tap in every time we go live. All right. Uh, Z, we're gonna get this show started, my man. We
I'm
ain't gonna
I'm
play no
ready,
games.
man.
We're gonna go straight in. We got a lot to talk about. I don't know if a lot of you guys have seen the clip of the Oakland Athletics baseball team newscaster say something in his opening dialogue. Also have his apology speech. We're gonna talk about
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about reparations. We're gonna talk about the gap, uh,
Wealth gap. Wealth
wealth
gap.
gap. Thank you, wealth
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Yeah.
into that tonight, man. So let's jump right into it. We got a lot. We got a lot to cover real quick, man.
Hey,
So,
man. First of all, man, how you doing, brother?
oh, I'm doing wonderful, my brother. Peace and blessings to
Good,
you. How
good,
you
good,
doing,
good.
Z?
Indeed, indeed. Peace. I'm fine, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm digging that shirt though. I like that shirt
Oh,
too.
you like that? My little
Yeah,
Biggie
yeah,
shirt,
yeah, yeah,
cartoon
yeah.
character. Yeah,
I like that.
yeah,
What's up?
yeah.
Let's get
Um,
into it. Brother Juan Thagan is he out and about. I mean, he a jester, you know what I'm saying? So he had technical difficulties because he overseas, you know what I'm saying?
he overseas.
No, I'm lying. I think
Oh,
he
I'm
in New
like,
York.
I was like, this dude is overseas. I heard that.
No, man. No,
Live your
no.
life,
I think
Juan
he in New York.
Fuego. Live
Right.
your life. You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
All right,
Hey,
man.
man.
Let's get it, Z. So
Let's
as
go.
I said earlier, Oakland Athletics broadcaster. I'm not for sure what his name is, but his open dialogue, uh, going through his shebang, and then all of a sudden he said something that I don't think. When I saw it, I don't even think that he caught or knew that he had said it
Yeah.
because he just
Yeah.
kept going. It
Right.
was no pause, no nothing. He just
And
kept
the
it pushing.
co-host, the co-host didn't say anything either. It wasn't like a look like, yo, what you
Nothing.
on today? Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So here we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. We had a phenomenal day today. League Museum and Arthur Bryant's Barbecue. We had
I the fact that you didn't even realize that you said it to
Right,
me
right, right,
off the
right.
rip says that you
Yeah,
say this word on the regular.
yeah, yeah. It's like the kids in my high school. They say it and they don't even know they're saying it. And um they tell me all the time, like, Coach, that's just how I talk. And I'm like, well, first of all, you should be saying that word anyway. These are mostly Hispanic kids, the ones that I'm talking about. Even though I check the young brothers too, I check them too when they say it. Um, but the way he said it, you know that you say that word a lot. There's no way that you confuse nigger with Negro. There's just no way. Like
None.
there's nigger Negro. It ain't even there's no way. And the fact that he said it and nobody else caught it, like you said, Pete, is one of those like you've said it before, and that's on the tip of your tongue when you're talking about black people, and of course we're gonna get the oh well he just made a mistake. I've never said cracker instead of Caucasian.
Right. Right.
I don't even
Right.
say Caucasian. You know what I mean? I don't even say that.
No,
You
I
know?
say colonizers.
Yeah, I mean, we could say colonizer, we could say, but I've never mistaken that for the other word.
Not at all. I mean, either
Yeah,
I'm calling you if I want to be derogative,
right,
I know how to separate the two.
for
Because
sure.
either I'm gonna say the white person, or that white
Yeah,
boy or white girl.
yeah,
But I'm with you, Z. If I want to be, I know when to be derogative, or I would
right,
say cracker,
right,
or I would say
right,
honky.
right,
But I
right.
know I'm saying that. That's
Yes.
not a situation where I'm going to get confused from the two.
No. You know exactly what you're doing and saying at that time.
And for him, and I get it as a broadcaster, right? Somebody that's in the field of broadcasting. I'm not for sure on his end if this is like he has a teleprompter in front of him and he's
Hmm.
reading
Hmm.
off of a teleprompter. And so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt off of this though, Z. And I say
Okay.
this. If you're reading
Okay.
off of the teleprompter, I understand as a broadcaster, you're trying to think ahead of time. As you're reading, you're thinking
Okay.
your next thoughts, like left foot, right foot, you're constantly thinking. And
Right.
at the same time, you're thinking, what else can I add that's not in this
Mm,
teleprompter to give it a little bit more flavor, to give it
right.
a
And
little bit,
fast.
yeah, something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you seen there's another clip of a brother named Chris Broussard, and in his I think he's on First Take or something like that.
Okay.
But
I know who you're
he
talking about.
everybody thought he said nigga. You know what I mean? They thought he was talking like he was just at the barbershop and was like something like nigga, you know what I'm saying? But what he was saying was Nick, hey, you know what I mean? Like, but he said it so fast that even he came out and apologized and said a whole thing. Because I know him. Like I know him and he doesn't talk like that. You know what I mean? So somebody said it to me and I was like, nah. I said, but if he did, I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I wasn't tripping. But
why,
at the same
why
time,
would you
I
trip
see
though?
what you're doing, but at the same time, it's a difference of when it's somebody else. And I'm just be honest with you.
Absolutely.
People could be upset and be like, oh, that's a double standard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
100%.
There's a double standard, and that's what it is. I'm not apologizing for it or anything. That's just what it is. You can't say it. You know what I told one of the young Mexican brother, one of the Latino brothers in my class? It was funny because we always talk about how people, they love our culture. They love, well, I don't even want to say culture, but they love us. They love our style. They love what we bring. They love our music. They love the way we move, all this stuff, but they do not want to be black. And when he was saying the word, nigga, he was like, yeah, nigga. And I was like, yo, I don't know what came up on me, but I've been wanting to say this for a while. I was like, yo, get your own word, bro. If anything, get your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, say essay. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see no black dudes walking around saying, what's up, essay? What's up, essay? Like, if we were, you know, I would be clowning you. Or I would be, like you saying, being derogatory, almost like, what's up, essay? Like, even saying that sounds silly to me. Just like when I hear other people saying nigga, it sounds silly to me. Now you could say we just shouldn't use the word altogether. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But for me, I'm not letting it slide. You know what I mean? Like I said, at school, I'm checking both my Hispanic students and my brothers because it's like we're in a professional environment. You know what I mean? Do I use the word? Yes. But do I use it at work? Do I use it in professional environments? No.
But you're cautious of it though, and you
I'm very
understand
cautious.
when to
I
use it and when
understand
not
that.
to use it.
Very much so. And this dude, like you're saying, the fact that he came out and apologized, we'll see what happens. Like you never know. But I'm sure, and I know you're like me, you're a comment reader. So I'm sure if you read the comments, people be like, oh, people are just being oversensitive. Like, come on, dog.
It's not oversensitive. He said what he said. You know, we're talking about the apology. Now, I want to get your thoughts, Z, on his apology.
Okay.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, and I just wanted to apologize if it sounded different than I meant it to be said. And like I said, I just wanted to apologize for that. Welcome back to Kauffman.
That was it. That was his apology.
Yeah, and you know, Pete, I don't want to make it seem like we just don't like white people, but I mean, we can't know the sincerity in that man's heart, right? We don't know if he truly meant that apology or not. I mean, I appreciate that he gave the apology because I would rather him have done that than not. But I don't want to go tit for tat and say that it wasn't sincere. What more could we have wanted him to say to make him seem like he was more sincere is the question that I would ask you, Pete.
Okay. And I'm going to answer that question. I'm going to play the clip one more time, Z.
Okay.
And then when I play the clip, I'm going to answer your question.
Yes.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, and I just wanted to apologize if it sounded different than I meant it to be said. And
I said something that came out. I said something that came out not the way I wanted it to say. I get that.
Right.
I get that.
Right.
But it was the second part of it though, where he said, hold on. It's the second part that just got me. Hold on.
Okay.
Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I just wanted to, a little bit earlier in the show, I said something didn't come out quite the way I wanted it to, and I just wanted to apologize if it sounded different than I meant it to be said.
If it sounded different than what I meant to say,
Right.
my guy, you know what you said. It
Mm.
can't sound no different.
I see where you're coming from. I see what you're doing. I see what you're saying. I do.
Like what you
I do.
said, I can't, if I say the F word, the S word, the B word, like I can't say, well, hopefully you didn't take what I said the wrong way.
Mm,
You gonna
mm.
have to take it as what the word is.
Right. It's facts. So you would have been better with him just saying, I said something I shouldn't have said, and I apologize.
And
Not
if
that it
I
came out
offended
wrong.
anybody,
Right.
if
You,
I
yeah,
offended anybody, I apologize, and that's it.
for sure. Yeah.
Like you
No, I
don't
get
have
what
to
you're
give me
saying.
this. Yeah, you don't have to give me this
Yeah.
long, drawn out speech. Hey, I apologize. I said something that I shouldn't have said, and I apologize if I offended anybody, any of the listeners
Yeah.
watching. I apologize,
Yeah. Yeah.
and because they caught
Right.
this during the game that he had to
Yeah.
during his broadcast
Yeah.
put out an apology. They didn't
Oh,
let this
facts.
go. They didn't let this go
No.
next game or whenever.
Yeah.
They caught this during
Yeah.
game time and
Yeah.
said, because I bet somebody got wind of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Somebody, it was a text, it was a some messages, something was done to where they had to where he had to make that apology. But I see what
He
you're saying, P. It should have been a little more uh specific, maybe, in what he was talking about and
right.
what he
You
was
can't tell
apologizing
me
for.
that
Yeah.
you can't sit up here and say, well, what I said, like hopefully I didn't offend you,
Oh, you
or
did.
I,
You
I,
offended
I
people. Yeah.
or I didn't. That's not the way I was trying to. No,
Right.
you said
Right.
what you said.
Right.
Stin,
Right.
I get it. You
Yeah.
made a mistake. And in the mistake, just apologize. But the apology to me, where I say it wasn't a sincere apology, is
Got you.
and it
Got you.
was just because of the second part.
Got you. No, I understand. I understand. I understand.
That's just where I'm
Yeah.
at, because I
Yeah.
know, just like your boy Chris Bouchard, right? I bet his apology was longer than this dude's.
Oh, listen, he had a whole you should go check out his Instagram, y'all. Chris Broussard, um on Instagram. He has like yeah, he's such a good dude and a smart dude. He used that and he started talking about what black people shouldn't be doing or what we really should be worried about. Like he had a whole it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a
And
lot.
I
Yeah.
put money on it. Half of that was the network saying you need to, and for him, he's like, well, I'm gonna add on. If you want the apology, I'm gonna give you the apology, but at the same time, I'm gonna be proactive,
Oh,
and
and
you know what I'm
for
saying?
sure. This is the same brother who stated maybe a few years ago that said the most revolutionary thing that a black man could do is marry a black woman and have black kids and raise black kids. So this is the kind of brother that we talking about when we talk about him making that mistake. So when his apology came out, it was definitely different than a if it came out wrong. It was like, nah, I didn't say that. If you run the clip back, and he explained all that, and then he just went into a whole while I got your attention. How about we focus on this? And I was like, this brother's so smart. Like, not
Yeah,
only am I going, I'm gonna give you the apology. Of course, this is my job. Let's be real. This is my job. This is his job. Like, I'm protecting my livelihood. People want an
yeah.
apology. You shouldn't be talking like that on air. He understands that. But while I have your attention, while you on my page to look at the apology, you're gonna listen to the rest of the stuff that I gotta say
Right,
about
right.
black people and what we
Because
got
now
going
you're
on.
tuned in just to
Come on,
see
man.
if I'm gonna slip
Yeah.
up and say something else.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. But I ain't got you. So you gonna
Yeah,
listen to all these 5 points that I just gave out too. It was
yeah,
brilliant. Brilliant.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll post it on the Instagram for No Boundaries JMO, and you guys can leave your comments also.
Please
Let
do.
us know what your thoughts are on the A's broadcaster. If you thought the apology was fine, if you had a problem with the apology, or if you don't even really care, you
Yeah.
can sweep it underneath the rug, whatever. But we
Yeah.
want to hear from you. Let us know your comments, your thoughts. All right.
Please. Thank you.
All right. Next clip.
Matter your age. When you're black in America, you don't get to be fully American. That freedom we're so fond of talking about as a nation comes with an asterisk when you're black. We're viewed with suspicion. We're never given the benefit of the doubt. Our actions are never presumed innocent. And with that comes a lot of stress. There are moments that sneak up on you, say sitting in a Starbucks while black, or birding in Central Park while black, or shopping for underwear while black, or Airbnb-ing while black. Then there are those moments when action is needed, but if you've read my writing over the years, you know I never leave home without my driver's license, insurance card, and business card with my husband's cell phone number on it, because you just never know. I'm one vigilante, avowed racist or homophobe away from calamity. And if I got into an accident on a country road, I'd think long and hard about whether to go to the nearby house for help. Could I be putting myself in more danger by doing so? I can't afford not to think this way. That's what being black in America means. Constantly weighing the pros and cons of countless situations and interactions and hoping you get from point A to point B with as much of your dignity intact, if not your life.
Oh, man. Hey, I really love this stuff, P. I'm beginning to get an affinity for studying and getting facts and learning about this stuff because, I have a lot of friends that don't think the same as we do, P. And I like the challenge. I like the questions that they give me. I like the rhetorical questions, the historical questions, the what about this questions. And when we talk about these kind of things, I think that people who haven't been through that, they downplay it. They say it's not that true. Like, you haven't been through that much. Like, how often does this happen? And for me, it's like, this is a constant thing. The brother just said, all the things that we have to go through, carrying your card. I tell people all the time, of course, I've been pulled over before, but I've never been treated anyway, bad by the police, except, in the city I used to live in, got pulled over multiple times. Even one time in my car, warming up my car. Like, I'm not even moving, P. And they pulled over, like, what you doing here? I'm actually warming up my car, sir. Like, what do you, I'm not even driving. How do you pull somebody in when I'm not even driving? But anyways, these are the things that we go through. And it's like having no record or anything like that and having to put my wallet in my cup holder, make sure that my insurance is in my, so it's easy to get, those kind of things. Everybody's not doing that. Everybody's not having to think that way. And we do. I just had a conversation with a friend, and he was telling me how he was in a car, like he drives Uber, and he was telling me how Uber, he had two brothers get in his car, and he was kind of nervous by the way they were dressed, the way they were talking, and things like that. So I said, how funny is it that you could have those feelings, and you've never been? I asked him, I said, have you ever been like, beat up by black dudes, like pressed by black dudes like that? And he was like, no. I said, so where did those dots come from? I said, they came from what you've either seen, heard, or somebody has shown you, right? And he said, or seen, heard, or read. And I said, so why is it that y'all don't think that we can have the same thing, or black people can have the same thoughts about police because of things that we've seen, heard, or read? But you could have some black people in your car and you're thinking about that and nothing has ever happened to you. Because he asked me, have you ever been pulled? And I said, funny. Then that's when I brought up those facts. And he couldn't really say anything about that. Because I'm like, just like you are looking at black people from what you've seen, not what you've experienced, but somehow with cops it's totally different. Like, we should just give them this respect. No, I've seen them do some crazy stuff to people who have who were innocent, who didn't do anything. Looking at that thing that you're looking at that black man with, it's amazing to see or hear or
I mean, Z, when I pulled this clip, because again, it kind of correlates with what we were just talking about with the broadcaster and the things that people of color had to and is still dealing with to this day. And why is it, and I asked the question, like, why is it that people of color are the only ones that really have to watch their back in everything that they do, right? You bring up the police. If a black person wants to go off on a police officer and and call them all kind of names, that police officer is going to get their feelings hurt because by law, let's be facts. By law, me cursing you out and me using profanity is not breaking the law. That's not me breaking the law. I can curse you out as much as I want to, but it's not breaking the law. Police officers will get their feelings hurt, and now they want to press charges.
Yeah.
And then they'll start adding stuff to the charges. And it was so funny. I'm gonna give you another story too, real quick. If a white person did it 9 out of 10 times, nothing happened. They'll let the white person, get the steam off their chest, and they'll give them the citation, and then they keep it pushing. Now, here's the funny thing. Just the other day, I went to go get something to eat at Chick-fil-A, and around, like, not too far from Chick-fil-A, he was literally like in the parking lot of the Chick-fil-A. It was a homeless dude laying on the ground. I think he was asleep. I walked past him when I was walking over to Chick-fil-A. Walked straight past him. He was laying on the ground. Seemed like he was asleep. Next thing you know, I'm sitting at Chick-fil-A and I look out the window. All of a sudden, I hear police cars. Police cars, police cars, police cars. Z, there was 8 police cars for one homeless person. 8 for one homeless person.
like y'all don't have nothing else to do, right? Like 8. That's the whole.
8.
That's everybody on shift down there.
They got him up. They put a blanket on him. I don't know what the conversation was because I was inside. I just saw they woke him up, got him up, put a blanket on him. When they did that, then they put him, because ambulance came. They put him in the ambulance. Ambulance took off, and they were all just sitting around talking. And then I left, so I don't know how long they were there. But yeah, I was just like, it took 8 of them, 8 police cars for one homeless dude.
8. Come on, man. Right. It's oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing that the things, and I hate to go to tit for tat. Well, if this was a black person or if this was a white person, what would happen? But the reality is that people of color, black people especially, because that's the only viewpoint that I could talk from my experience, we are definitely treated different. We're seen as a threat, and for you to not acknowledge that or say that that's not a truth, that's even worse to me. If you could say, yeah, if I go to a certain area, I'm a little leery. Like, there are black people that go to certain areas and we're leery. Like, okay, we in this certain area, we need to make sure we on our toes. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure I'm around. I'm making sure I'm aware of my surroundings. If we as black people are doing that in some of our communities. What do you think the police are doing? So for you to say that, no, I just treat people the same. Like, come on, bro. I'd rather you just tell me the truth. Yes, if we go into certain areas, we are on very much on high alert. And I'd rather understand that than saying, no, we don't do that. We're not profiling or we're not looking at certain people like that, because that's just a lie.
Absolutely, it's a big lie. But it's one of those things where um, people settle for the lie.
Mm,
You
yeah.
tell me something, just like you said, like with your boys, right? That you talk to. You guys are
Mm-hmm.
able to have the conversation and go back and forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, but you guys hold each other accountable on the conversation. Some of us
Mm-hmm.
hear certain things and don't hold the other person accountable on what they say back.
Right.
They just let it go,
Right.
let it ride. Okay,
Right.
it is what it is. But no, just like you said, Z, yes, you guys do profile. It is a fact. And there's numbers that's behind it that can
Yeah.
justify
Yeah.
it. You know,
Yeah. And,
there's
and and
numbers
and to be
behind
honest,
it.
it's not just white cops. These are black cops too. These are black cops
Yeah,
too. These are Latino cops too. Profiling their
yes,
own people. You know what I mean? Yeah. Profiling their own people. And it's not even it's a profiling. It's a they. It's a like you.
it
What do you mean
is.
they? You are a they.
It is as if that job, being a police officer, um, makes you a certain ethnicity now.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm. Like what they
like
say,
you
that
didn't
blue.
forget.
I'm blue now.
You,
I'm blue.
yeah, you didn't forgot
Yeah.
that you before you became a police officer, you were black, you were
Hey,
Latino.
hey, hey, take up and you when you take up that uniform, you black, you Latino.
Right.
You know what I mean? You Asian. Yeah, you not blue no more, dog.
And I just wondered, like honestly, what would happen if just like and for the most part you may have an idea, but when you are off off duty, all
Mhm.
police officers can carry off duty, right?
Right, right.
Um, but I just wondered if you are off duty and you get hemmed up by the police and they treat you one of their own,
Yeah,
how do you
yeah.
handle that? Or
Well,
do
it's happened.
you
I think we posted something about that a while ago. LAPD. He was pulled over in LA by LAPD and had to explain to him like, "Yo, I'm LAP. I'm with y'all. You know what I mean? I'm one of you." And he still was done dirty. They still treated him dirty after he told him he was a cop. I saw another one in Texas. He was pulled over by. He was off duty and he was pulled over by the same uh, uh, police district or maybe the next district over from where he worked, and it was the same thing. And it was a black man telling him like, "Yo, you scary." He told the officer, "You thought I was gonna hit you. This is for your safety." He said, "You shouldn't be on this job, man." He said, "If you that scared of people and you think somebody's going, you shouldn't even be on this job." And he's saying this handcuffs sitting on the ground with 4 or 5 cops around him, and he's a cop himself.
I think I saw that video. It was a black
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I did see
yeah,
that video.
yeah,
I did see
yeah.
that. Because you can harm somebody. You can hurt somebody because of
Right,
you being feared
for sure,
and pull the trigger for no reason at all.
for
You
sure.
know. Um but I think the conversation is to be had just on the end of the difference in America.
Yeah.
You look at Dr. King in one of his speeches was the second America,
Mm,
where he spoke about the difference that people of color deal with within America. They give
mm,
the perception that you can have anything in this world if you work hard for it. They give
mm.
you that perception that that can happen. But in actuality, in reality, that it cannot. There are walls that you have to break down,
Definitely,
hurdles you have to
definitely,
jump over just to
definitely.
get to where you want to get. People
Period.
will stand in your way to make sure that you don't get to a certain level.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was asked So one of my people asked me, how has slavery affected you? He was not like he was like you today. And I said, it's funny you say that because I've learned how to speak to these people now, right? I learned how to talk to people. Um, and the first thing I said is, first thing, I have a victim mentality. I don't have uh, a woe is me. My parents raised me, especially my mom, my dad as well. But my mom always used to say this in particular is like, I don't do no pity parties. We're not playing no victim. So for me, that's the first thing I hit him with is like, now, I'm not gonna play the victim and think that you can't be successful, have a great life, raise a good family, and all this stuff in America while being black. However, there are systems and laws and restrictions that have been placed on black people, especially to make it so hard for us to make it, no matter what it is. And just because I think that when they see certain people, they see a certain level of, or maybe a few of us who have made it, and they think, well, look at this person. I've heard that on multiple interviews too, especially when they're talking about race and there's black people on the bench. They're like, look at us, Pete. Look at us. We're up here talking to the people. How is there racism if we're here? If you don't knock it off, you telling me you didn't have to go through nothing to get to where you are? And if you did, that means you was shucking and jiving. You know what I mean? And you was doing anything else you could to get to where you are, where somebody else probably had to really work and bust their ass, versus you, where like you saying that people say they stepping and fetching and doing all this stuff and cooning to get to where they are. So when I hear people say that, look at us, it's like, dude, this is two of y'all out of how many? And let's be
Right.
real, because especially when you talk about the conservative folk, let you say the wrong thing, you gonna get canceled too, Doc. You
Yeah.
gonna get canceled. You know
You're
what I mean? So you
saying the
be very
right, you're
careful.
shucking and, like you said, Z, you're shucking and jiving
For
for the
sure.
right folks. So you're
Hmm.
saying the things and doing the things that they want you to do and say.
Definitely.
So you're
Definitely.
okay. We'll keep you
Yep.
here. But
Yep.
you're absolutely right. You say the wrong thing, they'll come after you. And
For
I know
sure.
it's case in point because I know I've heard it. I've heard, um, I've been on a show that was very conservative
Mm.
to a show
Okay.
that was very liberal but conservative at the same time. And so the
Okay.
listeners was not used, they wanted that same conservative talk. When
Mm.
they
Right.
didn't get
Right.
the
Right.
same
Right.
conservative talk, and it was
We
that
going
he
off.
was right in the middle, oh, they went off. I don't know
They
why
don't
this
like
person
that.
is on. He shouldn't be on, and
Mm.
this, that, and the other, da 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 da. But he
Yeah.
is one of yours. He's conservative, but
Right.
he's a liberal at the same exact time. He's down the
Huey, I
middle.
always say this. I always say this. I think that black people that grew up in the church, like I think there are many of us, well, many people who have grown up in the church, I don't say many of us, but you have some conservatism in you. You have conservatism in you. It's in you, right? But at the same time, you can be a little liberal. Like you said, if you teeter in that thing where you not all the way over here and not all the way over there, people do not like that. And my thing
Mm,
is, as a human being, as a well-rounded person, you should have all of it with you. There are
yes.
some things that we both, if we could agree on, there are some things conservatives like, okay, I do agree with that. But then there's some things that's like, nah, bro, that's trash. And that's the one thing I
Yeah.
look for when I'm having these dialogues and these conversations with people. If you could call trash trash, I'm good. But if you keep on, if we're going back and forth and you're not hearing my point, um, and you're only like bringing up more stuff, it's like, what's the point of having this conversation if you're not going to at least try to gain knowledge from it? I was talking to, like I said, I was talking to the friend. The conversation was amazing, and he was like, "I hope you're not taking offense to this." And I was like, "Listen, I'm about gaining knowledge. I'm about learning new things. If there's something that you're saying that I don't know, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go research it. I'm going to go research it, and I'm not going to say things without having the facts. People love facts. When I'm talking to you, I'm gonna send you the article or something that's gonna back up my. It's just not something I heard. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So when I'm talking to you, like let's be on point and let's try to learn from each other. Let's gain some, versus just being a one way dialogue. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, and that's where you have a lot of folks that do sit down and have these dialogues, right?
Mhm.
Even if they're on both different sides of the road, they do have
Right.
these dialogues. But see,
Right.
what happens is, just like Malcolm X said, if you can control the media, you can control the
Mhm.
people. The media is
Listen.
making it seem as if no, people are not talking. It's only
Right.
one way
On both sides. Both
on
sides
both
too,
sides.
P. Both sides. Yeah.
Nobody's
Facts.
talking, nobody's listening, and this, that, and the other. Look here, I work with folks that I don't agree with. We sit up and have a
Right.
conversation all the time. So you can't tell me
Mm.
that we don't have the conversation because
Right. Right.
I am somebody that's having the conversation with folks. But again,
Yeah.
the media makes it seem that it's all one side. You got to listen to one side. You got to believe one side. Then the other side is like,
Yeah.
no, you got to believe what I'm saying because what I'm saying is correct. Then it's like,
Right.
now you pointing fingers at one another. And so with the media portrays that no one is communicating. And so if I can continue to force that, it's kind of like, and I learned this back in the day. And I know,
Mhm.
when you listen to radio, and I'm not talking about
Mhm.
radio now, I'm talking about radio back in the day where you didn't have MP3s or you didn't have the Spotify or Apple Music. I'm talking about you only had radio and radio only, where you heard music
Mhm.
on the station and you was like, I'm not really feeling that. It's not, I'm not really feeling that joint. Then a couple of weeks later,
Mhm.
you'd be like, oh, that's my joint right there.
Mm.
It's because you've been heard
Mm.
it so many times
Yeah.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
finally
Fact.
it
Yeah.
forced you to like it.
Right.
So
That's like with the kids.
if I
That's like with the
continue to
kids.
tell you that
Right.
we at each other's heads and we can't get
Mhm.
along, and I keep
Mm.
doing it, and then
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
I put guests on, right? And when I
Yeah.
put these guests on, I I get loud and I start yelling, and
Mm.
then they start
Mm.
yelling, and it
Mm.
becomes very theatrical. And so,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
that, then it proves the point of what the
Right.
agenda is, that we all can't talk. We can't have this
Mm.
dialogue. We can't get along. In
That's good.
actuality, it,
That's good.
here's the other thing, and I'll let you go, Z. But here's the other thing: Democrats, Republicans, all of these congressmen and congresswomen, senators, and stuff like that. Behind closed doors, do you realize they go out to eat together? They go to
P.
lunch together.
Come on.
They hang out on the
Come on,
weekend
man.
together.
Come on, man. Hey, it's two black guys that I follow. Dr. Richie. His name is Dr. Richie. He's a lawyer. It's on YouTube. Good brother, right? Always bringing up stuff, and he bring up the facts, of course, right? He's a lawyer, but he has a friend of his on that's a conservative, and they are like me and you. Like they like cool, like they talk like all the time, but they are on different sides of things. And he always be like, when they get on, they be like, "Come on, brother, how's everything?" Da, da, da. Okay, he was like, "Now we gotta go in," and they just go at it. And afterwards, you could see that it's like, "All right, brother, peace. All right, I'll talk to you later." You know what I mean? Like to me, I think that's the part that people are missing. I think that people are missing that we can have different views but still be cool. Like you said, they are forcing this divide or trying to make this divide,
Mhm.
and everybody. I've come to the conclusion, and somebody gonna have to prove me wrong, that both sides, politics, all of it is fooling us. They got us all played.
Absolutely.
If you don't think that the things that the Democrats doing right now, that when a Republican president come in or a Republican governor come in, that they aren't going to do the same thing, but just in a different way, voiced a different way, said a different way, presented a different way, and get the same exact thing, you are fooling yourself. If you think that this government and all this stuff is for you, they got Biden right now, right? Somebody just sent me something. No, somebody posted something, and I had to talk to him about it. He was like, "Oh, Z, I didn't post that for any political reasons, but you posted it. So now, if you post it, now I'm gonna come with you some stuff, dog." It
Right.
was the Republicans talking about how, yeah, they want the veterans, and I'm like, I hit my guy up, and I had to tell him, I said, you just posted this, so it's almost like I think it was somebody else that reposted something, and they got like, oh, Kyrie, when he posted that thing about somebody said that the black people are the true Jews and the
Oh
Israelites,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
He got
yeah,
all
yeah.
this
From
backlash.
Amazon, the
So
movie from
right.
Amazon.
So what I was telling my guy was, don't post something and don't give me an explanation, because now I'm coming in, right? And he was like, "Z, I wasn't trying to be political, but you posted this." So almost like a look at what they doing because it's the Democrats, right? But I think he's a Democrat anyway. But I was just like, why would you even post that? I said, and the crazy thing is, this Republican dude is talking about how the veterans are getting no, but at the time, veterans just cut funding for veterans. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So all this rhetoric is just to get you all riled up and have people like my guy posted it. Do you know what I mean? This they authority, and at the same time on the back end, right? On the back end, they doing this. They doing the veterans dirty. We cutting their benefits, but we gonna say out loud that it's somebody else doing it. It's a trick, bro. And for anybody to be so one sided and thinking this is it and this is you're wrong and I'm right, like at this point, every time I have a conversation, I'm saying, we both getting played. Like we
I
all
mean,
getting played at the end of
literally,
the day.
at
Yeah.
the end of the day, these guys that sit in these seats that we vote them in, it's so funny. I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. This is what I said. I said, what's going on right now, you got these people that you put in office
Mhm.
and they give you the shucking and jiving. They
Yeah.
give you the I'm
For
for
the
you
people. I'm
and
for
I'm
the
for the
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Right,
give
right,
you
right.
all of that, right? I
Yeah.
give you
For
that.
yeah.
But I give you the lip service that that's what I'm doing. But behind
For
the
sure.
scenes, I'm not doing it at all. I'm
Nothing.
not doing nothing at all.
Nothing.
All I'm doing
Right.
really is trying to do my best to keep my seat so I can prolong my career as a congressman or a senator. That's all I'm doing. I'm gonna give you
Right.
the hoopla and this, that, and the other, but in actuality, I'm not changing nothing. And the reason why
Right.
they know that now is because they understand, again, when you watch television, the media, you can come at me about whatever you want to come at me about. I can just, an
Hmm.
example, defund the police.
Right.
You can come at me. I'd be like, no, we don't defund, we're not going to defund the police. But my constituents are saying we need to defund the police.
Right when you get in, you know what you're gonna do.
I know what I'm going to do. But I know at the end of the day, after I've made my statement, I may go through the fire or whatever. A week, 2 weeks
Right.
later, there's gonna be another story that's gonna catch everybody's
See another
eyes,
thing.
and they're gonna be off me,
P.
and I
P.
keep on doing what I'm
P.
doing.
I love the fact that you say that because I laugh at it, the fact that some sides they'll say, see how they putting this in front of you whoever you are, because not them, it don't matter to them, right? They putting this in front of you, but on the back end they doing this. So you don't think it's happening on both sides? You think the
Bro,
media is just playing me? You think the media is just playing the Democrats or the liberals? Like he not playing the Republicans? Y'all, like y'all that smart that they not playing y'all on the same side? Like it's just it's hilarious to me. But like I said, P, my stance is we all getting played at some point.
I,
You go get if they want Trump to get back in, that's cool. If he get
but
voted
here's the
and win,
thing.
that's
Here's the
cool.
thing,
And
though,
I still
Z.
got people talking about they think it was some foolishness and some trickery with the election. If you don't knock it off,
Z, you talking about the media, right? And Republicans. Fox News is they go to. You got Republicans now.
full,
They be like, stop watching Fox News. Go somewhere else now. It's because Fox News was playing them. That's why they got
exactly.
this big lawsuit that they had to pay out
Right.
not too long ago. A 750
Right.
million lawsuit they had to pay out because they were
Come
on
on.
some other stuff. So again, it's one of those things that everybody
Come.
is playing everybody, and you absolutely right, Z. Do your homework. Social media is 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 a place to get information, but it's not a place where those are the facts. If that makes
Right.
sense. Like you can
Right.
go to social media and get
No, it makes
information,
total sense.
but it's not hardcore facts. So get the
Right.
information,
That's
do your
why. That's why,
research on it.
especially. That's why. Yeah. That's why, especially if you only hear those small clips, right? Like people take that and run with it. It's like, listen, if you hear something, that's cool. That's cool if you hear something and it spark your interest, but do your own research. I remember my pastor back in the day. It's my mom and dad's pastor now. Um, but he always used to, after his sermons, he used to always be like, "Don't take my word for it. Go read this on your own. Go
Yeah.
read and study on your own. I could tell you anything up here." And that's one thing I appreciated him, that he was like, listen, he would always like, "Hey, go study on your own. Go research this stuff. Go look it up. Don't just take my word for it." And I think so many people, they they look at people and they just take their word for it. I know we might not have time this next week, but when we talk about this wealth gap, I got some stuff for them people too, because one thing that I don't like, and I don't even want to start on it, but I'm gonna just put it out there, is that when people start to make money or they find out something that's working, and then all of a sudden they try to shit on people that ain't doing it and try to make it like they just been on top of everything from the beginning. And I think that that's what you see a lot of. You see a lot of people dressed up in nice suits and stuff like that, and because they're on a platform or because they're on a show, you think that they must be right. Look, they're on the show, and you don't know who these people are. You don't know their
Right.
credentials. You don't know they past. You don't know what they got. You don't know nothing. But you think because they on a show, somebody put them on the show, that they got the right answers. Or listen, they said it, so it must be true. If you don't knock it off, the last thing I'm gonna say is, Pee Wee, study for yourself, doc.
I'm with
Somebody
it,
tell you
Z.
something, go research it, doc. It's called Google. You we ain't gotta take nobody word for nothing.
You get Google, you can pick up a book and read. You know what I'm
Come on, man.
saying? You can do
Come
your
on.
research. It's out
That's it.
there. And that's
That's
the
it.
one thing that it don't matter what side of the field you're gonna play on. Information is out there.
That's it, P.
All you got to do
That's
is go
it.
look for it.
That's it.
That's it, man. Well, ladies and
I
gents, we're
love
gonna
that.
come back next week and we're gonna talk about the wealth gap. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get enough
Yes,
time
please.
to get into it,
Can't
but
wait.
we're gonna get
Can't
into
wait.
that joint. Hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight.
Yes.
Again, please make sure that you follow No Boundaries JMO on all platforms, on YouTube, on Twitch, IG, Facebook. Please hit the follow
Oh,
button, tap in, man. All right.
please, please.
Um, any last words, Z? I think you already did your last words, but
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
do your
Get the
research.
knowledge yourself, man. Do your
Yeah.
research, man.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents, we'll be back next Monday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please tap in with us. We truly appreciate the love and support. Thank y'all very much. No Boundaries Crew. We about.
Peace.
No bound, no bound, no bound, no bound, no bound.
Wrong one. Wrong one.